obviously, chance for the Alabama Crimson Tide to knock out Clemson, let them know who's boss here as we get going here with game number 2 of the Emerald Coast Classic.
Well, as we look at center court, Tessa Miller getting set to jump this off with Essence Cody to get our ball game started here in just a couple of minutes. And you know, Hector, we're kind of salivating at this one ever since we brought up that this matchup was going to take place yesterday when both teams got the win.
It essentially serves as the championship of the Bay bracket. In case you haven't been following us or don't know much about this tournament, 8 teams, 2 brackets, this the Bay bracket. The beach bracket, which we'll talk about later in the day and in this broadcast, comes up later this afternoon.
Tip controlled by Alabama. This is Zay Green. Over to Nye. Right side, Carly Weathers. Weathers taking it back to Nye. She looked good shooting threes yesterday. Inside to Essence Cody. Little turnaround off glass is good.
And right away, see Alabama trying to establish Cody inside. They realize they're probably not going to be enough to just beat Clemson on the perimeter. So trying to get Cody and that inside game going early.
Back the other end. Here's Miller. The give. Straightaway 3, Cone. Correction, Cone from the left elbow. No good. Alabama off with a rebound. This is Nye. Right side up off glass and good for Zay Green. And the Crimson Tide have come out and have got started early, 4-0.
Oh, that's the start you want for Alabama. You want to leave Clemson no doubt about just how good you are and how much of a daunting task this is going to be to knock off the Crimson Tide.
Miller, now left-handed dribble. Over to Kluse. Driving, fires McQueen. Straightaway 3, more. No. Miller taps the basketball, trying to get control. It goes back to Clemson. Moore back with the ball, up off glass and good for Mia Moore.
Well, we mentioned they're going to need more from Mia, scoring their first couple of points of the game. If she, alongside Loya McQueen, can answer the big 3 of Alabama, I think Clemson's going to be in a much better spot.
Weathers, straightaway 3, Barker, no. Rebound off to Miller for Clemson. Once again, Moore. Takes it off glass, no. Nye there for the rebound for Alabama. Nye over Zay Green. Trying to work it inside to Cody, and does. Backing Miller down, loses the handle. And McQueen comes away with the basketball for Clemson. McQueen guarded by Sarah Ashley Barker. Look at right side, Cone 3-pointer. Rattles in and out of the rim. And Green once again the rebound for Alabama. She's moving the ball down. Up off glass, no. Barker there for the rebound, but loses it to Loyal McQueen.
See, when McQueen was watched by Barker on that previous possession, the 2 best players individually speaking going against each other.
Cone driving, off glass, no. Miller for the rebound, back to McQueen thinking about a 3. And she backs it up to set things up. Straight away, 3-point attempt from Miller, no. And Miller, the other Miller, Tessa Miller, with the rebound.
30-second timeout is what they're calling this.
So I'll tell you with that, we'll take this one. 6:45 remaining in the opening stanza. Bama on top, 4-2 over Clemson. You're enjoying the Emerald Coast Classic, day 2, game 2, right here on Flow Sports. Shoot this thing. Timeout early on. Alabama out to a 4-2 lead over Clemson. And Alabama has looked rather tough once again defensively. They've been kind of making Clemson modify things a little bit offensively when they have the ball, when they're scoring in.
Well, it talked a lot about Mia Moore and becoming another threat alongside Loyal McQueen for Clemson and looking to match the big three of Alabama. That big three for the Crimson Tide consists of Sarah Ashley Barker. We've talked about her already at length here to begin the broadcast, and rightfully so. The preseason watch list for the Naismith Award, she's averaging nearly 18 points per game at 17.7, but right under her, Aliyah Nye gets 15 per game, and Zay Green, the aforementioned transfer, multiple-time transfer over from Tennessee, then A&M, and then Arkansas Pine Bluff, she gets 13 points per game as well. Cody Estes, who got the first bucket in this ball game, she gets nearly 10.5. So the Crimson Tide have 4 players in double figures, led by that three-headed snake of Sarah Ashley Barker, Aliyah Nye, and Zay Green. So where's Clemson's offense going to come from? Mia Moore, Maddie Cluse, Hannah Cohn, hoping to answer that question here throughout the ball game.
And speaking of Cohn, she's on the dribble right now for Clemson. Ball knocked away by Green, but McQueen takes back possession for Clemson. Queen driving, Moore. This time to Miller. Up off glass, and they're going to get Miller for steps.
You could see she hesitated just enough, and when you drag that foot and you don't come to a complete stop, official's going to get you every single time on that.
St. Green, Sarah Ashley Barker now on the dribble. Back out to Green. She thinks about a three, drives. Little floater good for Zay Green. She's got 4 early on.
And Green looking to get herself involved early. 11 points in yesterday's blowout win of Alabama State.
Cohn, three-point attempt, rattles around the rim and out. Sarah Ashley Barker coming away with a rebound for Alabama. Barker driving, tries to put it off glass, doesn't fall. Clemson comes away with a rebound. Moore's pass intercepted by Sarah Ashley Barker. Trying to work it inside. Couldn't find the glass, and the rebound once again off to Mia Moore and Clemson.
Barker very aggressive early for Alabama. Trying to get on track here as their leading scorer.
Barker with a block. The ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, we talked about her defense at the top of the broadcast. Barker, 2 steals, one of several players with multiple steals for the Crimson Tide, and here doing it with the block shot on Loyal McQueen, nonetheless, the top player and the top scorer for the Tigers.
Diana Collins, Gianna Cunningham checking in for Alabama. It's Clemson basketball. Here's McQueen driving. Off glass, no, and the rebound comes away to Collins and the Crimson Tide. Barker sets up the offense. Being guarded by Cluse. Back out. Here's Nye with a three-point attempt, and it's good. Aliyah Nye. And Alabama takes a 9-2 lead.
Loyal McQueen bringing it up. Looked for her shot, got in the lane the previous time down. She passed up a couple of early looks in this ball game, and now you figure she's looking to get herself involved.
Cohn on the dribble, little turnaround jumper, hits the rim and bounces away. Sarah Ashley Barker, the rebound for Alabama. Barker right side to Collins, over to Weatherly. Driving, turnaround jumper, around the rim and out. Rebound off to Miller, who finds Moore. Cohn a couple of dribbles. Hands off to Mia Moore. Cross court inside, Tessa Miller, off glass, no. Barker the rebound for Alabama.
Good offensive sequence though. Ball didn't go down, but that's exactly what you want from Clemson. Ball's gonna come out of your hands quickly, force that Bama defense to rotate.
Collins' three-point attempt hits the back of the rim. bounces away. Ball will go out of bounds. It'll be Clemson basketball. 32 Raven Thompson, 31 Anya Poole in for Clemson. As we were talking about yesterday, Hector, their big presence in the middle.
They were both huge inside for the Tigers in that 90-52 win against UAB yesterday.
Here's McQueen. Out at the top of the key. Left side, Kluse. Finds Poole. Her turnaround jumper falls.
Going right to work, picking up where she left off yesterday. Hit 6 of her 9 shots yesterday, getting 12 points against the Blazers.
Collins tries to find glass. Finds the bottom of the rim instead. Ball bounces away. Clemson in possession. McQueen. Kluse back to McQueen. Straight away three. No. Collins there for Alabama. Back to Barker. Throws it away as Cunningham wasn't ready for that one. Here's Moore up off glass and good.
Oh, some contact there. Moore falling backwards. No call.
Most of the timeout, Coach Christy Curry having a discussion with one of the officials.
Well, another look here. There's body, not much there for Sarah Ashley Barker. I think a good call. Moore anticipating the contact, falling backward. And on the other end, as you mentioned, Coach Christy Curry for Alabama, word with the officials. Now, the point stands. The score hasn't changed.
Saw there a couple of minutes ago, head coach Christy Curry having a word with Gianna Cunningham as she headed to the bench for the Crimson Tide. Barker, right side Weatherly. Trying to work it inside to Essence Cody.
And Cody, you see a couple of buckets here to start. Had a good game in the win against Alabama State yesterday, 9 points, but only shot 1 of 5 from the field, already getting into the act more so during the course of play this afternoon.
Poole, little jumper from just outside the paint is good.
She gives them such a big lift off the bench, does Anya Poole. A difference maker right away. And not only energy-wise, in terms of actual production.
Nida Collins trying to drive, handoff Weatherly. And they work inside to Essence Cody. Little turnaround jumper off glass. No, and they're going to get Poole for a foul.
Now Cody has a body advantage there on Anya Poole. And so Alabama still, even with Poole in the game, and even though Poole helps with the height, still going to go inside and see if maybe they can get a couple foul calls on Anya Poole early on.
Essence Cody will go to the free throw line for Alabama. Is checking in for the Crimson Tide, Zay Green, coming off of a breather. Collins Weatherly heading over to the bench.
Anya Poole goes 6'2". Meanwhile, Essence Cody, who she's matched up with, goes 6'4". So height advantage as well as pure size for Cody inside. Don't be surprised there to see the Tide trying to exploit that matchup.
Absolutely try to go in the middle. Essence has 5. It's 12-8. Alabama on top. Moore now on the dribble, finding Poole. Top of the key. Poole works over to Moore. Little jumper from the area. Poole there to gather it in. Possession for Clemson. Little jumper, no. Poole once again with the offensive rebound.
Just so clutch. There's a cut by McQueen.
Out of the hands of McQueen in Alabama. Green there for the attempted layup, no good. Moore comes away with the rebound for the Tigers.
Now, in the previous time down, Moore missed Poole on a rotation off the pick and roll.
And Green with the steal. Slapping it away from Poole. Right side, Barker. Green in the corner, three. This one good for Leonai. Pair trays for Nye here early on. Alabama increases that lead to 7, 15-8 over Clemson.
And this is often what good teams would do to you. It seems like Clemson is right there with Alabama. But the best teams are so efficient, so disciplined, that it's almost effortless when they execute. And you look at the scoreboard, and they're up by 7 in what appears to be a game closer than that.
Moore trying to find a cutting Poole. Bounces off. Barker almost sinks it at the buzzer. And we got one in the books here. Game 2. It's Alabama on top of Clemson 15-8. We'll be back with second quarter action here in just a moment from the Emerald Coast Classic on Flow Sports. Hey, this reminder, Flow College has you covered for all your early season basketball tournament action. The Cayman Islands Classic, Battle for Atlantis, Cancun Challenge, and the Emerald Coast Classic can all be seen through on Flow College, that is, through November 30th. College Hoops tips off here.
Got a fantastic one going between Alabama and Clemson. First quarter low-scoring affair, especially considering these two teams scored 90 and 83 respectively in their victories yesterday. But a lot of scoring in terms of opportunities and being efficient at trying to handle those, and a good number of defensive plays as well, especially late in that first quarter. Big sequence in a game that Alabama leads 15-8. Zay Green with a steal, taking it from Anya Poole, and it led to a three-pointer for Alabama's Aliyah Nye. And those the final points of a period that ends 15-8, and Alabama with a 7-point lead, almost doubling up the Tigers, and they have yet to get a single point from their best player, Sarah Ashley Barker. So things boding well early for a Crimson Tide team that comes in at 7-0.
Clemson has a basketball to start the second quarter, down 7. Mia Moore gets sent to throw this in and does so to Loyal McQueen. McQueen on the dribble, being guarded by Zay Green. Outside, Summer Evans.
Looking at McQueen there. She's the top scorer for Clemson. She has yet to score as well. So neither of the leading scorers on these teams have found the bottom of the net yet.
Evans swinging over to Moore, right side. Moore driving. Has to try and get it back to Tess Miller. That's a shot clock violation. And stifling Alabama defense once again. Messing up plans for Clemson. Is getting set to check in once again, Hannah Cohn. She'll be coming in, and Summer Evans heading to the bench.
Yeah, these are going to be big minutes here for Clemson with Loyal McQueen taking a breather. See if they can sustain here. Mark it. They're down by 7 when Loyal McQueen exits.
Try to go inside to Queen. Good defense. Addie Porter, who checked in for Clemson as well. Playing tough in the middle. It's Alabama basketball. Barker, little jumper, no. Essence Cody there for the rebound. She gets hit.
That foul's going to be on the Tigers, number 14.
And as a matter of fact, that'll give Addie Porter her first foul, first team foul. Essence Cody back to the line for Alabama.
Mentioning Loyal McQueen and taking a breather here, her first of the afternoon. And the way she leads the Tigers in scoring, she's at essentially 17 points per game. 16.8 is what she's averaged through these first 5 ball games. 4 of them wins, including yesterday's matchup against UAB.
Essence Cody sinks them both. She's 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Clemson tied up 17-8. Porter, right side cone. Porter tries to set up the play, goes to cone again. Mia Moore with Barker out on her. Goes left side, Miller. Porter back to Tessa Miller. Finds a cutting Moore. Whistle and a foul. They're going to get an eye for the foul.
And it's the second straight possession in which Clemson took it right down to the wire of the shot clock. They actually called for a violation on the previous possession on the play in which Tessa Miller tried to save it in bounds off an errant pass. Here, a cutting Mia Moore on the back door. And it worked out. She drew the foul. So Clemson very patient in trying to find its offense. And that's a good thing when you're playing a team like Alabama who gets after you defensively and then is very, very efficient offensively, is you don't want to waste possessions. And I think Clemson realizing that, head coach Sean Poppy telling them, hey, safe. Let's be safe to start. Doesn't mean we're cautious, but take care of that basketball.
Green handoff to Weatherly. Back to Green as they try to work it inside. Essence Cody putting a move on Miller. Throwing it back out. Barker retrieves for the Crimson Tide. Shot clock begins to wind down. Green in the paint. Turnaround jumper, good.
That's all Zay Green. Offense broke down. Shot clock was under 10. And she decided, okay, I'm going to have to make something happen. So she did. Put a little move on. Found herself the top of the paint. Was able to knock it down.
Miller telling Cluse to move. Here's a three-point attempt coming from Cone, and it's good. Hannah Cone gets in the scoring with her first points, albeit a tray this afternoon. 19-12. Alabama on top of Clemson.
She took 6 triples yesterday, hit 2 of them, and that's her game. That's her strong suit, is she can shoot it from out there. A transfer from Iowa State. High percentage shooter from beyond the arc.
Green working inside to Essence Cody. Up off glass and good. That's 4 in the quarter for Essence, the presence.
Yeah, and Tessa Miller, that's a tough guard for Tessa. Cody has her by not only a couple of inches, but just a strong stature inside as well. And going to be a tough go of it for both Poole and Miller inside with Essence.
Mia Moore jumper from the paint. Ball goes out of bounds despite Tessa Miller trying to throw it off of an Alabama player.
Into the game for the Crimson Tide, number 20,
Diana Collins comes back in for Alabama. It's 7:05 mark here the second quarter. It'll be Alabama basketball.
Mention whether it's Poole or Miller who are trying to check Cody. Poole's back in there now.
Barker back out to Green. There's her three-point attempt. Around the rim, no. Collins there for the rebound for Alabama. But a whistle and a foul.
That foul's going to be on the Tigers, number 12, Mia Moore.
They got Mia Moore this time, her second team foul.
Barker's still not pressing. Leading scorer for the Crimson Tide, yet to have her first points. There she is. Another shot attempt.
Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound off to Cone. Weatherly the steal for Alabama. Collins up off glass, no. And Mia Moore gathers it in for Clemson. Over to McQueen. They're going to get a blocking foul on Weatherly.
You see Leo McQueen looking to make stuff happen. Going left. And...
or Weathers, I apologize.
Well, Weathers had not yet set her feet. And so they call her for the block.
Here's McQueen. Driving, pass out. Thompson off glass, no. And Green there for the rebound for Alabama.
Thompson played well in that win against UAB yesterday for the Tigers.
Barker off glass. It goes in. That's Sarah Ashley Barker's first points of the contest. 23-12, Alabama on top.
And she's 1 of 6, but she's not playing poorly. It's not like she's taking bad shots and pressing. They're coming within the flow. That's just the first one that's fallen for her.
McQueen on the dribble, being guarded by Collins. Now double teamed. Green takes it away. Green back to Barker. Barker, soft jumper, hits the back of the rim and bounces out. And it's Clemson basketball. McQueen over inside to Poole. Nothing there, so she backs it out, tries a little hook. Kisses the front of the rim, bounces into the hands of Alabama.
Like that decision by Poole. She's been the best offensive threat for the Tigers so far. Kept it in her hands and gave it another go. Nothing wrong with it not going down. Not in that instance.
Here's Barker trying to direct the offense. There's a jumper, good. Zay Green. 25-12. Alabama on top of Clemson. McQueen on the dribble.
8 for Green, and she's been very, very solid. Nothing flashy, but huge in this lead for the Crimson Tide.
Laurel McQueen getting her first bucket of the game. You know you weren't going to keep her down for too long. Drives, finds the glass. Gets the points. Green trying to go inside to Essence Cody. Finally does. Body's bumping there under the basket. Ball goes out of bounds. Alabama retains possession.
Letting them play are officials for this ball game. Royce Blevins, Jeff Wooten, Aljanice Carr. And no whistle on that.
None. 4:19 remain here before halftime. Alabama 25, Clemson 14. Back with more in a moment right here on Flow Sports. Back with you to the gym at Northwest Florida State College, the Raider Arena. where Alabama has a 25-14 lead over Clemson. And you know, Hector, it's been that Alabama defense once again stifling the defense, setting up the offense.
Well, Clemson has scored 78, 91, 81, and 90 points in their 4 wins. They've only got 14, and we're midway through the second quarter. Why? Because the Crimson Tide are all over the place defensively. Active hands, Zay Green knocking that one away from Anya Poole. And they're also in the passing lane. Sarah Ashley Barker, offensive player, but don't sell her defense short. Just because she's Naismith watch list doesn't mean she can't play some D, and getting it done, especially since she struggled a little bit offensively, finding ways to impact the game. So both Sarah Ashley Barker and Zay Green, 2 of the best players on this Crimson Tide team, are finding ways to affect the game defensively. For Zay, she's also playing very well offensively, leading the Crimson Tide, or right behind Essence Cody's 9 with 8 points in this ball game so far.
So Alabama will have the basketball. Collins to inbound and does so to Barker. Barker trying to find Essence Cody in the paint. Nothing doing there. Now on the drive, up off glass, no. For Lester. And Clemson comes away with it. Poole over to Moore. Moore again to Poole, driving. Almost lost the handle and does so, comes away with it. Here's Green all the way down the court for an easy layup.
Off another steal. You see Sarah Ashley Barker creating that opportunity, and the Crimson Tide continuing to stay active. That is Ashley Barker's 4th steal already in this ball game. We still have 3.5 to go in the first half.
Moore, right side to Poole. Poole hands off to McQueen, trying to put a move on. Look at that defense once again as Eris Lester knocks that away into the hands of Diana Collins. Sarah Ashley Barker thinks about a 3, drives the lane, up off glass, no. Essence Cody there for the rebound, but they're going to call a foul.
That foul's going to be on the Tigers, number 31, Anya Poole. That'll be
Sarah Ashley Barker's talking to herself. She's a little bit frustrated. But credit in that she's trying to get to the hoop. Oftentimes when you're an offensive player who is struggling, you try to get an easy one. And once you see the ball fall through the net, she's hit a bucket, then everything else begins to open up. Here she is in the lane.
Previous foul called on Anya Poole. It's her first. Straight away, Green. They're going to get her for steps.
Yeah, took an extra one there. She tried to take off, switched to pivot foot, went left when she was showing right.
Now checking into the game, Christabel Izuma. Going to give Essence Cody a breather. Well-deserved breather. One of the first half that young lady has played. Being the rock in the middle for the Crimson Tide.
Already played 14 minutes in this first half has Essence Cody.
McQueen on the dribble, back out. Sam Evans' 3-point attempt, no good. Nye comes away with a rebound for Alabama. Pass to Green. Over to Sarah Ashley Barker. Inside, here's Izuma. Izuma back out to Barker. Barker trying to work a move. Good defense that time by Clemson, though the ball is taken back by Alabama. Green with a nice move. Turnaround jumper, good. Zay Green.
Doesn't get much prettier than that in the block. Go ahead, Roland.
8
Sorry.
in the quarter, 12 for the game.
Well, she faked left, making the defender go with her, and then she came back around right.
McQueen on the dribble. We'll check what this foul's called. They may have gotten Collins. We'll check this. That is the case. Diana Collins picking up her first personal. 13 foul for Alabama. Here's McQueen. Tough defense once again, making McQueen alter her shot.
And she pressed a little bit there, Roland. It wasn't initially there.
Nye three-pointer rolls around the rim and comes out. Sales last touch by an Alabama player. Be out of bounds to Clemens as Mia Moore checks back in for Clemson.
Difference between the two leading scorers in this ball game, both of them get right around 17 points per game, but for McQueen, and both of them have 2 points in this contest, but Barker letting the action come to her. Yes, she's struggled from the field, but she's still allowing things to come her way. For McQueen, you just saw her press a little bit. Let's see how she handles as she's exited the game, no longer in there, but right before she exited, trying to get a shot, seeing if she can help her team with some points.
Evans finding Miller underneath. Good defensive play that time, Essence Cody to tie things up. Jump ball called, Alabama with the possession arrow.
It's been the difference in this ball game so far, Roland. Alabama's not shooting that well. They're shooting 37.5 for the game. Have yet to hit a three-pointer. They've only taken 2, but yet they have yet to hit a tray. Yet they've got a 15-point lead, thanks in part to that defense, allowing Clemson to shoot just 25% so far, along with the number of steals in this ball game already.
On the dribble, Collins off glass, no. Weathers fighting for the rebound. She tied up Porter. They'll call a jump ball, and it'll be Clemson basketball as they have the possession arrow.
Mentioned a number of steals for the Crimson Tide. They have forced 8. They have 8 steals to their credit here in the first half.
Moore trying to penetrate the lane. Finds Miller. The baseline jumper, no. Collins comes away with a rebound for Alabama. We're now under a minute remaining here in the first half. The first half that's been dominated by the Crimson Tide. Whistle. Are they going to get Miller?
Yes.
And that is the case.
Yeah. Tessa's pleading her case, but that's a tough ask, though. She's trying to handle Essence Cody in there, and that's no easy feat, and trying to keep Cody from getting good position.
Tessa with her first foul. Weathers now takes the ball on the inbound. Back out to Green. Evans guarding her. Green, nifty little move, finds Collins. Straight away. Her drive, no. Miller there for the rebound for Clemson. Off to Porter. Lets it fly at the buzzer. And we've got one half in the books here. Game 2 of the Emerald Coast Classic. Alabama 29, Clemson 14. Back with more in a moment right here on Flow Sports. Halftime, day 2, game 2 of the Emerald Coast Classic sees Alabama on top of Clemson. Both teams winners yesterday, but Alabama's got a 29-14 lead here at halftime. And right now, let's take a look at some numbers as to how we got here, Hector Ledesma.
Well, I think it's appropriate that they're playing the wobble over the loudspeakers here at the arena at the home of Northwest Florida State College, because both teams have been wobbly offensively. Defense has carried the way, but neither team shooting particularly well. Look at Clemson, just 6 of 27 from the field. For you math majors out there, you already know that's 22.2%. 1 of 8 from three-point range for the Tigers. For Alabama, not that much better. 12 of 32. They're shooting it at a 37.5% clip. Just 2 of 6 from behind the arc. Free throws, neither team getting there, but I think that's because both teams living on the perimeter. Now, we've seen inside play, but the refs, interestingly enough, and I think this is a good thing for the flow of the game, they're kind of swallowing those whistles a bit, so not a whole lot of activity at the free throw line. Turnover is a big story, Clemson, for Clemson, because of those 10 turnovers, 8 have come via steal. 8 steals, Roland, the first 20 minutes. That not only goes to Alabama's aggression, but it also speaks to Clemson's ball handling. You cannot turn it over that much, especially via steal, that often, and expect to give yourself a chance to win. Alabama, you see, conversely, they've turned it over just 3 times. And we talked about the inside play. Alabama, thanks to Essence Cody, 18 points. Clemson, for them, Anya Poole started out well in the paint. Got some early points for him, but for the ball game to this point, just 8. You add it all up, and it's Alabama who's more than doubling up Clemson right now in a matchup that I think most people who surround this tournament and looked at coming in thought, hey, that's one of those, if it shapes up that way, and we think it will, it could be fun to watch. So far, Alabama's suffocating that Clemson offense.
Zay Green leads all scorers with 12. Essence Cody with 9 for Alabama. Leading scorer for Clemson, Mia Moore with 5. Anya Poole has 4. And, you know, we were talking about it yesterday and mentioning the presence that Anya Poole and Raven Thompson were in the middle for Clemson in their contest. You wonder if we're going to see a little bit more of that here in the second half to try and at least stifle or contain Essence Cody.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, Raven, because Roland, because Raven Thompson, I was getting a little bit ahead of myself there. She's been a non-factor in this contest after scoring 9 points in 17 minutes yesterday. Why? I think it's a matchup thing. I think yesterday when Clemson went against UAB, there was favorable matchups for Raven Thompson. She was able to exploit the UAB defense inside and out. Against these Alabama Crimson Tide, there is no space in there against Cody Essence. And when they bring in somebody like Azuma, or they get you in transition and they force the turnovers, it hasn't allowed Raven Thompson and that interior offense for Clemson, including Anya Poole since her first couple of possessions, to really get on track.
Right now, let's take a look at some highlights from that first half and just how the Crimson Tide came about this lead defensively.
It's been all about that end of the court. Sarah Ashley Barker, she's got half of those 8 steals just on her own, a rejection as well. So credit for Sarah Ashley. Zay Green getting into the act as well. And there's Sarah Ashley again. It's a bit of a broken record, but it really goes to how well they've been playing defensively. Carly Weathers also has herself. This is the most recent one for Sarah Ashley Barker before she went to the bench. But if it's not either one of those players, it's Diana Collins getting her hands on a loose ball or causing a ball to come loose, and then back comes the other way comes Alabama. And though the Crimson Tide aren't capitalizing, they're keeping Clemson out of a comfort zone, and that's why you see the Tigers with only 14 points in the first half after they've scored at least 78 in every one of their 4 wins.
Don't forget, we're just halfway through today's coverage of the Emerald Coast Classic Day 2. Coming up a little bit later on this afternoon at 5, we're going to see the Missouri Tigers take on the Wichita State Shockers. Then the nightcap this evening at 7:30 features the Syracuse Orange and the Creighton Blue Jays. So we're looking forward to a day full of action. We're looking forward to bringing it to you as well. We'll go to break, get set for third quarter action from the Emerald Coast Classic in just a moment. This is Flow Sports. just be ahead of second half action this afternoon. Alabama on top of Clemson 29-14. Tigers are going to have to look to claw their way back into this one, and they can with something we've seen first half, and that's their hustle.
And that's going to be key because we talked about right before the break that 10 turnovers for Clemson, 8 steals within those 10 turnovers. Well, here's how Clemson can get back into it, is on their own ramp up the defensive pressure, but also stay after it. You know, you can't – there's an old saying that shooting slumps. Well, effort doesn't slump. And that's the one thing you can keep consistent is keep going after those loose balls. Keep your hands active in the passing lanes. Keep moving your feet. Keep crashing the boards. You do those things, you're going to give yourself a chance to win. Because right now the ball's not going down. Now if you're Clemson, you hope that it eventually is going to fall. And with shooters like Hannah Cone, Maddie Cluse, you think that the ball will eventually find the bottom of the net. But until that happens, you've got to find other ways to stay in this ball game. And right now, frankly, Clemson, considering the opponent, especially with Alabama, they're in a kind of a danger zone, Roland. It's 15. This gets to over 20. And considering how good the Crimson Tide are, it's lights out at that point. You're not coming back from 20-plus against this Alabama team, especially considering they're not playing well offensively either. So if they ramp it up, it's good night. So if you're Clemson, this is how you stay engaged. This is how you give yourself a chance to win.
Now another mental point that could have been brought up in that Clemson locker room here at halftime is that in spite of Essence Cody and her presence in the middle there for Alabama, both teams tied with total rebounds at 21 coming into play here in the second half.
And that's going to be key because if you're Alabama, you're expecting your perimeter players to play better. So there's going to be more opportunities there for loose balls, for rebounds, for things along those lines when you ramp up the defense as well. And so it'd be interesting to see how Clemson counters that. Now, for all that being said, you know, maybe Alabama comes out and they don't shoot that much better, but they're able to sustain with their defense. Clemson can't allow that. Clemson needs to not only ramp up the defense, but offensively, they need to get back into a groove as well.
Well, Crimson Tide come back out onto the court here to get things started in the second half, and we'll do that momentarily. Once again, 29-14 Alabama on top of Clemson as we get set for second half action right here on Flow Sports. You know, sports are better on the big screen. Head to your preferred device app store to download the all-new Flow Sports TV apps for Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, and Chromecast. Set your favorites, search our library and live on-demand content, and so much more. Download today. Second half underway. Alabama picking up right where they left off. As I tell you, Aaliyah Nye gets the scoring started. Off glass and in, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Another look. Look at how beautifully this is executed. Aliyah handoff, and then she goes around and cuts toward the basket. Tough to keep a track of if you're the defender, and Nye able to get loose right around the basket and then converts the free throw. And now they're in a full court press.
Mia Moore picking up the foul, her first team foul on Clemson. And here come the Tigers. McQueen trying to drive. That middle just too tight there for Alabama. Mia Moore up off glass and in.
Second time that Moore has picked up her dribble and swooped in with that right hand and been able to convert.
Zay Green handing off to Weathers. Nye inside to Barker, back outside to Cody, who tries a three. Nothing doing there. McQueen finding Cone for a three-point attempt off the wing, no good, but a whistle and a foul.
Inverted in that Barker went out to Essence, Cody. Usually it's the other way around, but Barker drawing the attention in the crowd, and then on the other ends, this is what Clemson needs out of Hannah Cone.
Weathers picking up the foul. It's her second.
Even if it doesn't go, they need her to keep shooting, especially down by 15, now 14. Player who comes in shooting at a high percentage of three-pointers, and as a reward, she gets 3 from the free throw line.
So give Cone 6 for the ball game. Bama's lead 32-19.
Cone shoots just a hair under 36% for the season coming in, and you figure that percentage will increase the season goes along.
Cody, the pass to Green. Barker's three-point attempt. This one good. Sarah Ashley Barker, 5 for the game. That's her first triple.
That's a good sign for Alabama. You get her on track with a 16-point lead, you're going to be in great shape.
Stessa Miller back outside to Moore. Moore driving up off glass, and it's in once again. Mia Moore's found something with that little running jumper off glass. 4 for the quarter.
Yeah, she uses the bank as she swoops in with that right hand, and she almost using her body to shield the defender. It's a good move. It's pretty effective, especially considering her size. Most players who aren't big aren't able to do that.
There's Green. Three-point attempt from the wing, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by a Clemson Tiger. It'll remain Alabama basketball.
And these are the little things. If you're Clemson and you're trying to claw your way back in, you need every single loose ball. You need every single rebound. They need to go your way.
Sarah Ashley Barker's jumper off the rim, no good, but rebound by Weathers. Ball saved back to Barker, off glass and good.
This is a perfect example right here, Roland. Alabama got 2 opportunities. If Clemson can just figure out a way to get its hands on that initial rebound, they've got the ball with a chance to cut to 12. Instead, they're down 16.
Moore once again trying to find glass. Nothing there. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by Clemson. It'll be Alabama basketball as Raven Thompson gets set to check in for Clemson. Raven, a 5'10 junior forward out of Atlanta, Georgia.
See if Clemson looks to try to get her going. We talked about her at halftime and how potentially because of the matchup, she's been relatively silent in the first half after such a good outing yesterday.
She's guarding Barker. Knocks the ball away, and Clemson steals it. McQueen driving off glass and in. Laura McQueen has 4, and it's 37-23 Alabama. Right away, Thompson making her presence felt.
And you see Clemson playing with more urgency right out of the gate, and that's what they need. It's fantastic to see that to start the second half because they find themselves down double figures.
Weathers back out to Barker. Straight away three, no. Good loose ball foul underneath. They're going to get Tessa Miller.
Yeah, it's rough for her down there trying to contend with Cody Essence. I mean, that foul came because she's trying to keep Essence off the glass, and yet another opportunity for Alabama.
2 on Miller, 2 team fouls for Clemson. Nye trying to drive, kicks it back to Barker. Barker brought down, ball almost stolen by Thompson, is up off glass, is Essence Cody, and it's good.
Cody, that's just pure size, using all 6'4" of that frame. She wasn't open, but she was able to put the ball up or above her head, and because of the height difference, it's a decent look and just able to bank it from close range.
11 for Essence the Presence, and 39-23 is Alabama's lead as they have the ball once again off a Clemson miss. Green, turnaround jumper, yes. Zay Green. Almost got that down to an art form.
And the lead now ballooning to 18, Roland. Talking about needing to keep this thing close. That's going to stay Clemson ball. It went off, I was going to say it went off Green's knee, but it might have hit her face. The way she was reacting.
Or something, yeah, she's checking out of the ball game right now as Dinah Collins is going to come in to replace her.
Clemson's had opportunities here.
Miller driving the lane. No, and a foul. They're going to get Essence Cody for her first.
That foul is going to be on the Crimson Tide, number 21, Essence Cody.
Yeah, Miller looking for her first points. 7 rebounds in this ball game, so she's contributed in other ways, but defensively trying to carry the load of having to deal with Essence Cody.
Tessa Miller blessed with height as well. 6'2" senior out of Crossville, Tennessee. Here's her first free throw attempt, and it's good. Actually, that's Tessa's first point of the ball game.
Yep.
Second free throw, this bounces away, no good. Weathers there to gather in the ball for Alabama.
Tessa scored 15 in that win against UAB yesterday.
Sarah Ashley Barker, off glass and good. 7 in the quarter, 43-24. As the Crimson Tide expand that lead.
And she's picking her spots. The shot isn't going down, so she's finding ways to get in the lane.
Mia Moore trying to look inside to Miller. Once again, that Alabama defense as the ball's knocked away, and Weathers comes up with it. Nye, three-point attempt. Off the front of the rim, no. Miller goes for the rebound. And I think they're going to get Weathers. They do for a loose ball foul.
That foul is going to be on the Crimson Tide, number 22.
I'm going to repeat myself here.
That'll be her third.
Revisit something we talked about at halftime. At that point, 15-point game, and it felt like Clemson was living on the edge there with that. Well, it's 19 now. And if you're Clemson approaching 5 minutes here in the midway point of the third quarter, you can't let this get any more away from you, and there's an offensive foul on Miller.
Got to be frustrating for Tessa Miller.
Well, head coach Sean Poppy totally disagreeing with that call. He's not happy.
That's her third team foul as well. And there's a timeout on the court with 4:59 remaining in the third quarter. Alabama 43, Clemson 24. Back with more in a moment right here on Flow Sports.
Thank you.
Back with you now at halftime. And as we were talking about, Hector, just a tough job for Tessa Miller this afternoon. Had a big game yesterday. Tessa, matter of fact, spent time playing at Belmont as well, a native of Tennessee. And she's averaging, well, about a little over 9 points a game for the Clemson Tigers. And just a tough assignment this afternoon, having to deal with the likes there of Essence Cody and Alabama.
15 exactly in 17 and a half minutes in that 90-52 win against UAB. 6 of 9 from the field. She hit the only three-pointer she took, and when she went to the foul line, she was 2 of 2. You compare that to today, though, 0 for 3, so has yet to hit from the field. Hadn't even thought about taking a 3, as she hasn't really wandered out to that three-point area. And from the charity stripe, she's hit 1 of the 2 shots she's taken. Now, she's played 17 minutes, so getting some good court time here is just vital to this team and will be instrumental if they are to mount a comeback. But right now, down 19, the task and the way in which they've attacked her inside with Essence Cody, and even when Cody hasn't scored, funneling things through Cody and making things possible on the outside, it's been a rough afternoon.
Sarah Ashley Barker almost lost the dribble. Gets it back, hands off to Diana Collins, left side of Leonai. Nye driving. Green inside, Cody. Little turnaround jumper, no. Miller and Thompson there for the rebound, and Thompson comes away with it and finds McQueen.
There's Raven Thompson making her presence felt. Big rebound underneath the trees.
McQueen kicks it out. Ball stolen by Sarah Ashley Barker. Barker driving, looking for glass. Big job that time by Addie Porter to tie her up as she was going up for a layup and create the jump ball. And Clemson's going to have possession.
Yeah, Barker, go ahead, Roland.
Zay Green back in, though, for Alabama.
I was just going to say, Barker continuing to struggle to find the flow. She's got 7 points in the quarter, but she's still not playing with the kind of fluidity that she usually does offensively, but she's making up for it defensively.
Straightaway 3 for Cone, no good. Cody with a rebound for Alabama. Here's Green on the dribble. Diana Collins, left wing. Hands to Nye. Back to Collins. Green thinks about a 3, but drives instead. Back out, Collins' 3-point attempt. This one good.
Clemson folks wanted a travel on Green, but the officials indicating that ball was touched. It was momentarily knocked out of her hands. That's why there was no travel.
Collins' first points of the game is a 3. Crimson tied out in front, 46-24. Trying to work it inside. I think a foul was committed on Cody.
You see head coach Sean Poppy. First season here at Clemson. Third season overall as a head coach.
Okay, the foul was called on Tessa Miller. That's her 4th team foul as well. Tell you what, as the officials review this, we'll go ahead and take a break and come back momentarily. 46-24, Alabama on top. It's game 2 of the Emerald Coast Classic, day 2 right here on Flow Sports.
Backdoor scores!
Back with you now at the East Coast Classic, game 2, day 2 at Northwest Florida State College. Previous play is still under video review as they charge Tessa Miller with a foul, her 4th. We'll see what this call is all about. I don't know if they're looking for a potential flagrant or what the situation is.
For Tessa Miller trying to get on track, and her defense has taken so much of the attention of her game this afternoon, because not only is she having to contend with Essence Cody inside, but whenever the Alabama players are coming inside and cutting and moving without the ball, they're coming across her area. And so she's having to not only deal with Cody, but all the players flashing in and out of the lane. And it's affected her offensively as well. Talked a little while ago that she scored 15 yesterday, though she's got 8 rebounds in this ball game. Only the 1 free throw to this point.
That foul on the Tigers, number 22, Tessa Miller, has now been upgraded to an intentional foul.
So the foul has been upgraded to an intentional foul. I guess along the same lines as a flagrant. Aaliyah Nix will go to the free throw line to shoot the technical free throws for Alabama.
And add the intentional foul to boot on top of her struggles.
2 of 2 from the free throw line. Here's Nye's next attempt. This one good as well. 9-5 for the quarter. 11 for the game. 3 of 3 from the free throw line, and Alabama gets possession.
24-point game now.
Right side Collins. She looks inside to Cody. Ball knocked away. Addie Porter playing some good defense to break that up. Of course, goes out of bounds off Porter. It'll be Alabama basketball. As Collins gets set to inbound this. Here's Barker being guarded by Thompson. Swings it over Nye. Back to Barker. Barker driving off glass. And as I suspected, they're going to call Sarah Ashley Barker for an offensive foul.
Yeah, though she's been better in this quarter, to this point, this will not be a game that Sarah Ashley Barker remembers fondly. Now, the good news for her is we still have a quarter and some change to go, and her team's up by 24. That's the most important thing. But individually, you know, players at this level, and again, she's a Naismith Award watch honoree. I think these are the kinds of games that players like that look at and focus on what they could have done better.
Poole finds Thompson under the basket, up off glass, and good for Raven Thompson.
Thompson, go ahead, bro.
She gets her first points of the game.
I was just going to say she's very good at using her body. She's not the tallest kid out there, but she's very good at knowing where she is, awareness, knowing what she has to do to get a shot off.
Sarah Ashley Barker trying to back Thompson down. Little turnaround jumper, no. Rebound off to Porter, and here comes Clemson. Mia Moore off glass, no. Cody with the rebound for Alabama. Green brings the ball across the midcourt line and slows things down as Erin Lester. Also, Carly Weathers. Report to the scores table. They'll be in here in just a moment. Green. Nice screen by Barker. I think they may get her for a foul, and that is indeed the case. In as many minutes, Sarah Ashley Barker picks up her second. That's 5 team fouls on Alabama.
Talked just moments ago before these last 2 possessions about how it'd been a rough go of it for Barker since then. Shot an air ball and then called for the offensive foul. But here's the thing, if you're Alabama, without your best player, without one of the best players in the country, you're up by 22 against an ACC foe. It speaks to how good you are.
Raven Thompson, Weathers guarding her. Thompson backing her down, looking for glass once again. No, Poole tries to save, but it goes right to Green in Alabama. You find Aaliyah Nye, who's driving. Off! was looking to go off glass, but instead she got nothing but net. Ball goes in.
She just threw that one up, I think, because she heard the whistle. It was off her right foot, but with the left hand. Here's another look. So she goes baseline. I think she hears the whistle there. Left foot, left shot.
That foul's going to be on the Tigers, number 31, on your pool.
That's just a circus shot.
Headed to the line
If
for the Crimson Tide, number 32.
Nye tried to make that again 10 times, she might make it again maybe once or twice.
Anya Poole called for the foul. Perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
All that said, though, Roland, doesn't matter, though, if she'd only make it once or twice because she made it when it counts.
8 points in the quarter for Leonai. Here's Cone over to Porter. Trying to drive back to Poole, who's looking to penetrate. Does so and gets the bucket and the foul.
Now, this is what was so effective in the win against UAB yesterday, is Poole would set a screen, she'd then roll.
Eris Lester picks up her first for Alabama. Crimson Tide over the limit. Poole going to the free throw line. Here's her first free throw, and it's good.
And that pick and roll element with Poole has been absent today. Now, credit Alabama for that. Credit Essence Cody. Credit the way their defenders on the pick have switched and reacted.
Here's Green. Just trying to let that clock tick down. Puts on a move. Backs it up to Nye. Nye launches one. Off the front of the rim, no good. McQueen there for Clemson with a rebound. Looking for Porter. Ball deflected and into the hands of Alabama. Once again, Alabama playing a tough defense today.
Yeah, Green got to handle that layup attempt by Porter. Totally changed the shot.
Green back out to Nye, who launches one from inside the three-point arc. No, but the buzzer means that's the end of the third quarter, and our score, Alabama 51, Clemson 29. Back with fourth quarter action here in just a moment. In the Emerald Coast Classic on Flow Sports. Along with Hector Ledesma, Roland J. Reese, game 2 of day 2 of the Emerald Coast Classic. It's one we've been looking forward to, Alabama and Clemson. And I tell you, speaking of the Crimson Tide, one of the co-leaders in scoring for this Crimson Tide squad, and what play she's had today is number 14, Zay Green.
This afternoon, it's been easy being Green. 14 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, filling up the stat sheet, and doing it in a way that's helped her team get out to a 22-point lead heading into a fourth quarter when facing potentially the second best team in this Emerald Coast Classic. Now, Syracuse and Creighton would have something to say about that, about who the best teams in this tournament are. But Clemson, strong, might be contender out of the ACC. Certainly one of the better teams here, but Zay Green, who started her collegiate career at Tennessee, then transferred to A&M before Arkansas Pine Bluff the last 3 years, making her presence felt here for Alabama, not only this season, but in this ball game in particular.
Here's Nye working inside, looking for Essence Cody off the glass and in.
Alabama's been fantastic out of timeouts. Set plays, doing a fantastic job in running exactly what Coach Christy Curry and that staff want them to run. They've executed it beautifully off of inbound passes.
Raven Thompson back out to Cone. Cone to Thompson once again. Looking to penetrate the lane. Once again, Green with good defense. She tries to block, but I think they're going to get her for a foul. That is the case. Zay Green picking up her first team foul. Raven Thompson to the free throw line for Clemson.
I think all the success that Alabama's enjoyed through this first 3 quarters, I think it's pretty evident that Zay Green's been the person who's made it go. Within those 14 points, she's shooting 7 of 11, along with the defensive effort. You mentioned the block that she just had. Talked about the couple of steals that she's been able to record this afternoon.
Natty Kluse back in for Clemson. As Thompson's going to take a seat for a bit. I'm sure we'll see her later on in the fourth quarter. Weathers straight away, Essence Cody. Left side, Barker trying to work it inside to Cody. They're able to get it in. Nye driving, Porter out on her. Zay Green, 3-point attempt. And it's just like you drew it up.
It's that kind of a night for Zay. Now 8 of 11, but the only thing she hadn't done in this ball game was hit a 3. She now has 1 of 3 from there.
Cone's 3-point attempt, no. Barker the rebound for Alabama.
See, Cone rushing that a little bit, but she hasn't had very many good looks, and that's her thing, is a 3-point shot. So rushing it, forcing it a little bit.
Nye to Cody. Back to Barker. And to Green. Work it inside to Essence Cody. Essence off glass and good.
Once Essence Cody has you shielded off, it's game over. At that point, all she has to do is turn and either lay it up with a right or a left hand, maybe a little jump hook, but getting Anya Poole exactly where she wanted her.
Kluse on the dribble, back out, Cone, 3-point attempt, no. Barker the rebound for Alabama. Over to Green. Weathers driving in from the left wing. Back out. Cody handing off to Barker. Barker to Green. Here's her 3-point attempt for the right wing, no. And Poole comes away with the rebound for Clemson.
Yeah, Green feeling it, wanted to see if maybe that would fall.
Porter almost cross court. Nye gets a hand on it, knocks it away, knocks it off of Cone. She was last to touch the ball. It'll be Alabama basketball. Is getting set to check in Mia Moore once again. Also, number 13 for the Crimson Tide, Gianna Cunningham.
Interesting. I don't know if Cone needed to touch that. She felt the need to save that. She's got a better vantage point than I do, so my guess is that she did touch it initially, but it seemed to be going off an Alabama player when she tried to make the play on the baseline there.
Diana Collins in for Zay Green. She gets a well-deserved rest. Barker finding Cunningham. Straightaway 3. Sarah Ashley Barker, no. Weathers there fighting for the rebound, but knocks it into the hands of McQueen for Clemson. McQueen driving. Trying to go inside to Poole. With the ball knocked away and out of bounds by Collins. See, it's that defense that has prevented scoring as well, not just the takeaways. But when Clemson has got the ball in deep, that defense has been there to thwart a good scoring opportunity for the Tigers.
Alabama's been very good in transition D as well. Yeah, when Clemson's been coming at them, they've been able to get back. And whether they have one or two defenders back, it's just enough to disrupt what Clemson wants to do on the fast break.
Here's Collins on the dribble. Trying to go inside to Cunningham. Cunningham trying to get position. Good defense by Poole to disturb her shot. That's a jump ball. The possession arrow will go to Clemson.
You see Alabama in a good spot, up by 27 with under 6.5 to go. And these are the kinds of things that good teams will do. These kinds of efforts is what they'll put out, because Zay Green's played well. Outside of that, no one's been really, really good for Alabama, yet here they are on the cusp of the 30-point lead against an ACC opponent.
Moore on the dribble. I think we got a foul under the basket, away from the ball.
That foul is going to be on Alabama's number 13, Gianna Cunningham.
Gianna Cunningham picking up her first foul. Second team foul on the Crimson Tide. Is now Christabel Izuma. Comes in for Gianna Cunningham.
Go ahead, Roland.
Izuma some valuable minutes yesterday in Alabama's big win.
I was just going to say, and specifically to no one outside of Zay Green for Alabama has been spectacular. I should clarify that and say that Essence Cody's been good. She's been very solid to good. But the other end of that is the specific is Sarah Ashley Barker hasn't been good, and yet they still have this 27-point lead. So any way you slice it, something that bodes very well for an Alabama team that hopes to play well into March.
3-point attempt by Kluse is no good. Rebound comes off to Nye in Alabama. Here is the aforementioned Barker. Driving, off glass and good. See, she heard you talking about her.
Yep. And like that, Roland, she's in double figures. I mean, as much as she struggled, she's still sitting there at 11 points. You know, but that's what good players find a way to do. You look at the stat sheet at the end of games and you're wondering how they do that.
Trying to find Kluse in the lane. Ball taken away by that Alabama defense once again. Collins off glass is good.
Collins going lefty. That's not easy in transition. It's not natural to jump off the right foot in order to get the lefty layup, especially when you're a right-hander, but she was able to do it.
5 for Collins once again. Another Clemson turnover as Weathers takes it away. Right, the right place to intercept the pass. Here's Nye sizing things up. 3-point attempt, no good. Weathers comes down with a rebound for Alabama.
Offensive rebounds for the Crimson Tide have been absolutely crucial.
Collins, 3-point attempt from the right wing is good. Collins has 8. 65-31 is the Alabama lead.
9 offensive boards for Alabama, and it's been a reason why, even though they haven't shot particularly well, they still managed to get out to this big lead.
McQueen driving is going to draw a foul. And they're going to get Sarah Ashley Barker for this one. That's her third team foul. And there's a timeout right now on the court with 4:16 remaining in this ball game. It's been all Alabama, 65-31 over Clemson. We'll be back with more in just a bit right here on Flow Sports. Back at our second game of the second day of the Emerald Coast Classic. It's been all Alabama, and you wonder why a young lady is recognized nationwide for her prowess on the basketball court. That would be one Sarah Ashley Barker.
Yeah, I've talked plenty throughout this broadcast, Roland, about how she hasn't been at her best. Well, this is Sarah Ashley Barker not being at her best. She still gets 5 steals. She still gets 5 rebounds. She still dishes out 4 assists, and she's not playing well. That's the kind of impact that she has. Now, her 11 points have come on just 5 of 16 shooting. She's 1 of 4 from behind the arc, but she's found other ways to help this ball club. The 24th ranked team in the country do so, and she's doing it in a way that's letting people know that even when the ball's not going down and she's not playing as well as she would like, she's showing people why she is on the preseason watch list for the Naismith Award given to the best player in women's college basketball. Also men's college basketball, but the Naismith also going to a women's player as well.
I got to tell you, if this is not her best day and I'm a coach, you know what? I take Sarah Ashley Barker on my team any day.
No doubt.
With just a performance like this. McQueen from the free throw line, her effort is good.
There's no doubt about that. And that's what makes the best players so good, Roland, is not only do they find other ways to contribute, and not only when they're not playing well do their team still get huge wins, but they also do it in ways where at the end of the game, you look at that and you look at the stat line, look at the box score, and you go, that wasn't that bad a game.
Collins finding Lester. Out of the board. Nice assist. And Lester gets in the scoring party for the Alabama Crimson Tide. McQueen, Cluse, Porter. Now into the corner for Moore. Whistle and a foul. And I believe they're going to get Izuma. That is the case. Christabel Izuma gets her first. That's a 14 foul on the Crimson Tide. That sends Moore to the line.
Well, if your head coach, Sean Poppy of Clemson, you were looking at this game as a measuring stick game, especially considering that just last week on November 20th, you lost to the number 1 team in the country, defending champion South Carolina 77-45. But you're looking at how well can we compete with Alabama? Well, I think we've gotten our answer this afternoon.
Moore sinks both free throws. She's 3 for 4 from the free throw line this afternoon. 67-35. Alabama leads the Clemson Tigers. Look at Barker. Barker with a jumper off glass. Maddie Cluse picks up her first foul for Clemson. First team foul for the Clemson Tigers. Sarah Ashley Barker going to the free throw line.
She stayed with it. Look at that replay. She got herself in position, used her body, got some leverage there, and then able to rise up on the shot.
That free throw no good. Ball off a Clemson player. Alabama will retain possession. It's Leah Brooks now checking in for the Crimson Tide.
You know, talking about Sean Poppy looking at this game as a mark of where his team might be. I say that also under the umbrella, the loss to South Carolina, given that their wins came against Jackson State, North Carolina Central, Presbyterian, and then yesterday against UAB.
Try to work the ball inside to Izuma. They're going to get her for traveling. That'll be a turnover. It'll be Clemson basketball. Here's Moore. Trying to drive, looking for Porter. Knocked away and out of bounds by Alabama. Clemson will keep possession with 20 on the shot clock. Tess Miller. Back to McQueen. McQueen finds Miller in the paint, up off glass, and good for Tessa Miller.
Those are the spots in which she excels. Nice job of rolling to the basket after setting the screen. Able to put it in with her left hands. Something they weren't able to do throughout the ball game, though, because of Alabama's interior presence and their knack of just being disruptive there in the lane as well, even if it was the wing players.
On the drive, Brooks' little turnaround jumper is good. So Leah Brooks gets her first point, as a matter of fact, of the tournament. 71-37 lead for Alabama over Clemson. Miller finds the front of the rim, bounces away. Lester with the ball for Alabama, back out to Collins. Collins drives, Collins looks for Glass. Nothing doing there. Moore comes over and gets the rebound for Clemson. Hour to 2 minutes remaining in this contest. McQueen back out to Porter. How are they going to get McQueen for steps?
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around at the conclusion of this game.
Yeah, and Loyal McQueen, the leading scorer for Clemson, hasn't had her best game either. You know, she's going to finish with 6 points, averages 16.8, shot 2 of 6 this afternoon, missed the only 3-point attempt she took, 3 rebounds, all of that in 34 minutes, a couple of assists as she exits.
Maddie Ott now in the ball game, replacing McQueen for Clemson. Collins are going to get her for double dribble. Picked up that ball and decided, well, I want to dribble this thing again. No, can't do that. So Clemson inbounds. Here's Tessa Miller. Right side to Porter. Porter driving. Kicks the ball out to Moore. Moore, 3-point attempt. Off the front of the rim, no. Evans there for the rebound for Clemson. Over to Miller. Ott, who just checked into the game. 3-point attempt. Her shot rolls around the rim and out. And Collins comes away with the basketball for Alabama and is dribbling. Trying to work it in. Here's Izuma off glass and good. Christabel Izuma with her first points of the game.
Now you look at what's next for both of these teams. From here, Clemson will play on Sunday. They return home. South Carolina to face Kennesaw State. From there, another shot at an SEC program. They face Florida next Thursday, December 5th. That one also at home.
Moore driving. Kicks the ball back out. Porter trying to find Miller underneath. Ball blocked that time by Lester and out of bounds. No foul call, just out of bounds on Alabama, and it'll be Clemson basketballs. Now we've got 36.8 seconds left to go in our second game of the day. Game we were looking forward to. Ott, 3-point attempt, no. Miller comes away with the rebound. They're going to get Izuma. And Miller's going to go to the free throw line.
And meanwhile, look at what's ahead for Alabama. December 2nd, Monday, they're back home, face Georgia State, and then they've got a good one at California on December 5th. For the Crimson Tide, SEC play begins January 2nd when they host the same Florida squad that's going to go to Clemson next week.
Tessa Miller's first free throw is good. Tessa with 4 points this contest, now make it 5. 73-39. It's been all Alabama. As a matter of fact, the tournament, probably all Alabama as well. Although we've got a couple of other great games coming up here a little bit later on this evening.
Well, and the way this classic is formatted, remember, this is the last game of the Bay bracket. 2 games of the Beach bracket coming up later. The 8 teams split into 4 groupings to determine those 2 brackets. And Roland, we've got the all-tournament team for a Bay bracket that included these 2, as well as Alabama State and UAB. And a look at that all-tournament team from UAB, Maddie Walsh.
Well deserved.
From And then the rest of the players are from these two ball clubs. From Clemson, Loyal McQueen and Mia Moore.
Absolutely.
From the champions of the Bay Bracket, Alabama, Aliyah Nye, and the most outstanding player, Zay Green.
And boy, we have seen some outstanding play from these young ladies. Congratulations to you, well deserved. And they're right now presenting the honors and the accolades to the aforementioned players. 73-39, our final this afternoon. Game 2, day 2 of the Emerald Coast Classic. And don't forget, we're back with you again at 5 this afternoon for more action from Northwest Florida State College. Game 3 of the Emerald Coast Classic on the way. For Hector Ledesma, my name is Roland J. Reese. Until later this evening, so long, everybody.